The Lord is my light and my salvation. Of whom shall I be afraid? Though an enemy comes around me, I will not fear, because the Lord is with me. And though war may come, I will not be afraid.
The trip wasn't what I expected it was going to be, but then again, I didn't know what to expect. I knew Mike and Cindy before the trip. I was very grateful that we were going to get to go and stay with them and that they would offer us to, stay at their house. And it was just so beautiful to be able to be there, have familiar faces, and to get to know them better, hearing both Cindy and Mike's testimonies from starting off and being young Christians to now, after having raised their children and going off and continuing to do missionary work is definitely something that I aspire to do as well.
Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you.
Does it look good? The surf?
It wasn't like that. I felt like I was hanging in nothing.
We went to one of the most impoverished towns in Mexico. They use like a tire swing as a little park, and they have that stationed off as a park.
At 2:30.
Mine?
That's only
You
30
give yours
minutes.
out to 3 groups, I'll give mine out to 3 groups.
They don't even realize that you can actually pray and have a conversation with the Lord. It doesn't have to be something that's memorized. And so even through that was something that was really beautiful, to be able to show them how you can develop a relationship with the Lord, and how we are called to be born again.
And I got to meet these adorable children, and they actually helped us go door to door. And what we ended up doing was asking them if they knew Christ as Lord, if they knew the church, Calvary Marantha. Who's not going to take an invitation from, a child? So they're just a huge blessing to be here and help us evangelize.
Gracias.
Say woohoo!
We were able to connect with a lot of the kids and the young adults in the community by playing soccer with them. That's definitely a sport that they love to play. We did skits everywhere. This was such an amazing way and an impactful way to show them who God is by essentially telling the story of the trials and the tribulations that we'll go through. It was such a powerful experience. It's a very humbling experience to serve in that way.
'Cause here I am, Lord, send me. And if I'm known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes. 'Cause I love you. Oh, I love you. When I'm standing in your glory, I'll be glad I chose to say,
Hoy quiero arrepentirme de todo
here I am, Lord, send me.
quiero entregar
Well done, good and faithful.
tú, Señor.
I live to hear you say,
Yo quiero entregar mi vida.
here I am, Lord, send me.
So one thing that's really interesting about the skit is that I didn't tell anyone about this, but I felt very like that skit in a way was my testimony, because I literally went through each and almost every single one of those tribulations in my life. And that is what essentially got me closer to God, is I saw, you know, my past and where it was taking me, and I knew I didn't want that. And so when we saw the skit, that was something that I thought was so powerful and beautiful. I was like, oh wow, in a way that was me who Savannah was playing, which was really cool. And at the same time, I feel like it brought me purpose in terms of like being able to evangelize and speak to people, because whether or not they want to or are ready to accept the Lord at that moment in time, there will be a time where one of those trials and tribulations that we showed them will affect them in a way where they're just on their knees and they're like, God, you know, at their wits' end, and they're just like, God, what do I do? And I love that we did the skit and it could remind them that even when they're at their lowest point, like God is there and he will always be there for you, and he listens and he loves his children. There was people in the crowd who had tears in their eyes. They were just like so moved by it. And they could all relate to it when we would go and speak to them and ask them what they thought of the skit. You know, they were like, that makes me think of my daughter and the relationship she was in. Or, you know, I struggled with alcohol and drugs. And it gives them that ability to feel like, you just have to call on the Lord and know that he is there and he is with you, and he really will pull you out of the depths of hell. And if he could pull me out of the depths of hell, I know he could pull anyone else.
This area is becoming very important to our church, because lately we've been getting over 40 people sitting out here.
Really?
Because,
Wow.
yes, because inside is already full, so the church is growing little by little.
Praise
Very
the
cool.
Lord.
Yes,
That's
so very,
awesome.
very nice.
The money that Anthem Chapel gave last year, a lot of it went towards this and this.
Oh, let's
and
take
this.
pictures.
When we
Nice.
came here last year.
Oh, you should take a picture of
Yeah, so this became our main entrance here.
We were all preparing our lessons to teach the children about different stories in the Bible. And when we got there, something that was really interesting that I didn't expect was they already knew all the stories. They knew everything. And it was so beautiful because the Bible verses were on the tips of their tongues. And I was learning from them as they were learning from me. So there was this like mutual exchange that was going on.
Bye-bye.
Here with you, I got all I need. Here with you, I got all I need. Here with you, I got everything.
I went on this trip to just be thrown out there and to learn. I barely really knew anyone, and I came back from the trip having an entire family.